Greetings, Guardians. It's Lieutenant Aya, and I'm here to talk about half teardowns and half setup. So you might have come to fair with us before and you've set up and you've torn down our encampment, but somebody told you that this week we're only doing a half teardown. What does that mean and how is it different? A half teardown or setup will come into place when we have a fair that spans a few weekends. Maybe we're at an area 3 weekends in a row or just 2 weekends. Because of that, we don't always have to tear down all of our tents or set up all of our tents because we can just leave them over the week. This really helps cut down on our time of setup and tear down and makes things actually a little bit more enjoyable when you don't have to do so much work on just one weekend, when we can put it over a course of a couple weekends. So a half tear down will be on a Sunday night when we have a fair in the same location the following week. And what that will look like is we will take everything out of the tents for the most part. The things that can stay in the tents are things that allow for airflow underneath them. So our goal is to not kill the grass because that usually makes the landowners not so happy. So if you have a table with a breeze underneath it, that's just fine. But if you have a dresser that sits flat on the grass, we're going to either need to put those up on blocks or take those out and put that into the trailer. This includes any rugs or tarps that you may lay down. All of those need to get picked up off of the ground. And if you have something under a pole, we try to bunch it up around the pole as much as possible. Most of the tents will stay up over the weekend, but there are a few that we take down. If somebody can't be there the following week, we might need to tear down a personal tent or two. And then any of our shade flies, because those are a little bit more risky to leave up unattended. So we'll usually take down any of our larger shade flies. After we have all of the major stuff out of the tents, we'll go ahead and put it into the trailers, and then we'll secure down all of the tents. That includes checking all of the ropes around the tent to make sure that they're secure. All of the stakes are pushed in well and nice and secure. And then we're going to tie down the doors. And if that tent has a shade fly, we're going to drop the shade fly and actually stake that down as well so that it does not fly up. Now, it depends on the fair, but we usually have somebody who is willing to go and check on our tents throughout the week to make sure there's no major issue. But if you are leaving up your tent, just know that there is a risk it will be left unattended for mostly a week. We've never had any real issues, but we've never had a tornado come through either. So just know that there are benefits and risks to leaving your tent up. We usually do, and we try to keep a close eye on them, but things do happen. Now, a half setup will occur on the Friday following a previous fair week at the same location. This is a setup that thankfully just doesn't take as much time as a full setup does, because all we pretty much have to do is reverse what we did at the half teardown. This means we unstake those shade flies, pop them back up. The big shade flies, we're going to need to put those up as well. We're going to empty out the trailers, put everything back into the tents, put down the rugs again, get everything set up nice and pretty. But it usually takes quite a lot less time than a full setup does. While we still need hands on deck to help with this half setup and half teardown, if you absolutely have to miss a setup or a teardown, a half setup or teardown are the ones to miss because we usually have enough hands for those, but we always need extra hands for the full setups and teardowns. If you have any remaining questions about the half setup or teardown, please feel free to put those in the question and answer portion of our Discord, and I will see you at fair.